I could start here. So I think a couple things that at least that come to mind. One is I think we're all like everyone's spending more time with portfolio companies because I just think the investments that you have, the first job you have is to kind of make sure that they perform well and kind of you can get them through the current situation, right? So I think a lot of that, whether it's around the capital structure, whether it's on operations, whether it's around the team, and just really making tough decisions and helping portfolio companies make those tough decisions to kind of get through the uncertain future, call it, right? And I'd say on the kind of the new opportunities side, I will just say a couple things that, I mean, look, we are where we are. There's definitely, we all think there might be opportunities in certain spaces, but certain things that are interesting, at least to me, are, there are a lot of trends that were already happening that I think we all know this by now, are just kind of getting accelerated by a lot of the things that were going on, whether it's, a lot of the digitization, whether it's, more support type services or enterprise related, businesses, things like that. So really focusing on kind of, when we do diligence, we always say, hey, well, how did the company do in the last financial crisis? So that was 12 years ago, right? So I think now you kind of have to figure out in diligence, what is it going to be like in this crisis and going forward? So I think really understanding those trends. And the third thing I'd say is focusing a lot on kind of, if you have good investment ideas or themes, et cetera, kind of going up and down the supply chain, and oftentimes it's like the supplier or the vendor of that, or someone who's providing services for that broader trend. So if you think, insurance services is gonna, do better because of some other trend, but kind of going and looking at who are the vendors or suppliers to these things that are kind of providing this type of service and who does it really well. I've always felt like finding trends that are going to be successful and then going up and down the chain is another way to think about new investment opportunities and kind of outlook or whatever in the horizon. And then lastly, I'd just say continuing to developing relationships with management teams. Oftentimes, during times of crises, when you're around and kind of check in, et cetera, with people tend to remember and really build relationships. Relations get stronger in times like this. So I'll just say those that come top of my mind as far as managing through this crisis.
Yeah, one thing I'd highlight is, at least for the near term, and I don't really know how to define near term with COVID, but one of the first questions we always ask is why are you considering a sale or a transaction right now? A good business that has a lot of opportunity and ability to wait. There's a strong argument for doing that, given where valuations in the public markets, they've obviously rebounded pretty significantly, but still depressed versus peak. In credit financing, leverage levels have come down a turn and a half. Cost of debt has gone up. All that to be said, for private equity buyers, the ability to pay has come down, and the willingness to pay has come down. So why try to transact in that environment if everyone does think in the next 12 months there's a vaccine and we're back to normal? So that's one thing I just say in any opportunity you're spending time on is why are you in market right now? But I agree. I mean, there's whether it's in the portfolio companies that you get put on when you start, or in new investment opportunities that you're spending time on, there is a significant amount of disruption and transformation happening across all, if not a majority of businesses and subsectors in terms of supply chain dynamics and everything else. So you always think about technology disruption or disintermediation risk. I'd really put that at the top of your list on trying to understand what's moving and is that going to be a benefit or a potential risk to the business.